Habitat for Humanity St. Louis works to build and rehab homes to provide permanent homes for over 1,500 individuals. Joining us from Habitat for Humanity St. Louis is Avis McHugh. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here, and I know you've been here before, and we love talking about Habitat for Humanity.
Yes.
I think for some people, they're familiar with different aspects of the organization, but if you could kind of provide an overview of what it is that you do before we get into kind of our hot topic for today.
Yes. And as we said before, Habitat is an umbrella of several different businesses, kind of under the same umbrella. And we are different things to different people, so it kind of depends on what your walk of life is as to what Habitat really means. So what we are is a nonprofit, and our focus is to help low to moderate income individuals and families become homeowners. So we build houses from the ground up, and then we sell them to our buyers at an affordable rate. But they do make a mortgage payment for 30 years, just like most of us do. But we also are a construction company, we are a volunteer company, we're a marketing company, and we have a restore, so also retail. So it just kind of depends on how you get to us as to what we are, but that's our focus.
So today we're going to kind of focus on home ownership, and maybe for people who aren't, you've outlined sort of the framework there, but just with the home ownership program, how does that work?
So it's really interesting. The main focus of my job is to go out and introduce the homeownership program to the St. Louis area. So I do a lot of public speaking at churches or schools or community centers, different businesses to try to get some of their employees recruited to the program. And a lot of it is really just kind to bust some of the myths. A lot of times people feel like Habitat gives houses away. So they'll see on TV where we'll do a house dedication and we're given the keys, but they don't necessarily see all of the work that went into it prior to. So what I do is I'll go out and kind of talk about the homeownership program, help people understand that what we're asking is for people that are interested in being a homeowner. And it actually is a little bit more than that because we're also asking them to do 350 sweat equity hours. So that's actually hard hours on the construction site, building the house that they will eventually purchase and move into. We also ask them to do workshops with us. So we'll have classes on financial education and budgeting, being a good neighbor, decorating on a dime, just various things. But there are workshops that they're required to take, and then there's some that we'll sit down with our buyers that are currently in the program and find out what it is they want to do. And then we'll have guest speakers to come in and focus on those topics. We also have a partnership with St. Louis University Law Clinic because homeownership is or can be scary. So when you're at the closing table at a title company and they're giving you this stack of papers to sign, it's a little scary if you haven't gone to law school to understand exactly what it is you're signing. So what we do is the law clinic will come in and they will sit with our buyers at least 3 times and go over all of the documents that they will see at closing. So by the time they get to the title company, they completely understand what they're signing. They understand all of the numbers, how they add up, what's going on with their escrow account, how much they'll be paying, and why. So we're really focused on not necessarily just getting them into the house, but keeping them in the house and allowing them to be successful homeowners for the next 30 years. The other big aspect is getting involved with the community. So not only are we helping them to build these 4 walls and have a foundation for their families, but they understand that they now have a voice and they have to have an impact on the community that they're buying into. So when Habitat is deciding where we're going to build, then we're looking for neighborhoods that are up and coming, that has something to offer, but necessarily that may have some work that needs to be done. And then we are selecting families to go into those neighborhoods to be a part of the growth and the change that the community that already exists is trying to create. So then our families are then involved in the community outside of their 4 walls, so that they can be a voice in the community.
No, that's wonderful. And when we come back, I do want to talk about, so people are familiar with what neighborhoods you've been in and where you're sort of headed with that. But right now we've got the information there for you on the screen. It's Habitat for Humanity St. Louis. To learn more about their home ownership program, go to habitatstl.org. All the details are there. And we're going to talk about it a bit more after this break. But again, after this interview, if you want more information, go to habitatstl.org. But don't go anywhere. We're just going to take a quick break, and we're going to have more with Habitat for Humanity St. Louis right after this.